Hi everyone, this your boy Muzonic. I'm an artist, international artist, songwriter, and producer. Today I'm going to be talking about black money circulating and just a few points I'm going to make. I'm going to speak about educated black women, black businesses, black spending power, eradicating poverty, stopping the self-hate, and the weave and hair business and hair products business. So let's start with the educated black women. So we have a lot of educated black women in the United States, and unfortunately a lot of them are not married. Matter of fact, a lot of them are actually single. These women feel like they don't need a man to do anything for them, and most of the time they're lawyers, doctors, they work in a corporate environment, bankers, and they're making all kinds of money. But here's the problem. The problem is you have these women who are educated, they're making all types of money, good money, working in the corporate world, and a lot of that money is not being circulated in the black community because they're single. Because they're single, it's like their whole point of view is on the corporate side. I'm not bashing women. I'm just stating the facts here. Majority of the black women who are educated and single, they have a bougie mindset. So they're spending their money not with black businesses, but in a corporate setting at Macy's or some of these big stores. Some of them probably don't even shop at Walmart because they have money, and that money is not being circulated in the black community except for if they're helping their family members out, and that's still not substantial. My suggestion to black women, because most of the time the white men, they're already married to white women most of the time. Latino men are most of the time married to their people. So this leaves black women to be single, because a lot of their men are either in jail. A lot of black men are either in jail or just not doing good in life financially, so the black women feel like they're not on the same level as these men. My suggestion is, the world is filled with black people. Matter of fact, there are black people from all walks of life living right here in the United States. So black American women, you guys need to open up your minds a little bit. Check out the Caribbean men, check out the African men. That way the money still circulates in the black community. You could meet an African brother that might have a business idea or might actually be doing his business, and that will be a great addition to your life. Plus, you're still gonna carry on the black gene. So if you have children, your kids will still be black kids. The next thing I want to talk about is black businesses not supporting each other. So we've always had this problem in the black community with black businesses not really showing enough support. And I stated on one of my videos that black businesses, black people, we need to support. You might be going to Walmart to purchase a product that's in a convenience store owned by a black person closer to your home. Sometimes, even though the price difference might be just $1 more or $2 or whatever, show that business some support, and it goes for the business too. If you have a lot of influx of black business customers, turn around and use that money on another black business as well. If you have all white vendors, how about you show, like if somebody else comes and tries to pitch a product to your store, how about, and that person is African American or African or Caribbean, how about you show that person some support by working with their business as well. You don't have to pick up a lot of their products, but at least pick up something. That way the money is flowing. If we always have this influx of money flowing, it will be less advertisement that we will need, because the money is always flowing in our community. And once you have money flowing in your community, that's empowerment to be able to wake up and do other things. And this leads to into spending power. I'm gonna get some facts, but I think the statistics for Thanksgiving and Christmas within the black community, just the amount of money black people spend on Christmas and Thanksgiving, I have to get the facts right as far as the actual numbers, but I heard that it's in the billions of dollars. I want to say somewhere around $8 billion black people as a whole spend on Thanksgiving and Christmas. So imagine, with that kind of spending power, if we're empowering black businesses, that's awesome, because you will always have an influx of money coming into every single business. So there are so many services that you might need. Like, you might need a plumbing service or something. Go on Craigslist or check your phone book and try to show some of these businesses some support, because they depend on support from regular people. So the next step is eradicating poverty, and again, in order to eradicate poverty, you have these. This ties back into educated black people as a whole. So educated black people as a whole, we have to start trying to travel a little bit more to Africa, different countries in Africa, exploring Africa for its resources, which will empower the African people and black Americans here, and that will in turn eradicate poverty, because if you're traveling over there and spending money and establishing business, that's going to open up something for somebody else on that side. You open up a business, you're gonna employ some people over there. So that's going to help to eradicate poverty. You could do the same thing in the Caribbean. If you feel like Africa is too far, you have the whole Caribbean, the Bahamas, Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, all these different places. You guys, every one of us need to travel a little bit more to start opening our eyes to establishing businesses in these countries. It's all about trusting. Like right now, I'm working with promoters in Ghana and Nigeria, and I have to trust them, even though it's hard to think about. But I need to get my music stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? And how is that going to happen if I'm just not trusting anyone? So sometimes you have to spend money with other people. Sometimes you might have to run through 2, 3, 4 people before you find the right person who will really stick by you. So that's what I'm doing, taking steps. I'm, doing things like building a house in Liberia, and I'm not gonna stop there, because once that house project is done, I'm gonna be doing other things as well. So that's some of the things we have to do: travel and try to start either opening, establishing business. If we don't want to establish business, the best thing you could get involved with, if you have money on this side, is purchasing homes in these countries and putting them on rent. You can never go wrong with that. If you purchase a property in Jamaica, you could, have somebody check on your property and keep in touch with that individual, put your property on rent, and that's some of the things you could do if you don't want to go into a full-blown business, but you might be making like $500,000 over here, or $100,000 a year. That money, you could actually take that money in one of these poverty-stricken countries. Some of the countries are poverty-stricken, some of them are not. But you could take that kind of money over there and establish businesses that will turn you into a millionaire on this side, to where you're not even gonna depend on corporate America work anymore. That's the thing. You can't just make money over here and think that's the end of the world. You have to take that money overseas, some of that money overseas, or travel to see what you could establish on the other side, because Lebanese people do it all the time. Like most of the people from the Middle East, the India, they live in Africa, China, and they have big businesses. I'm talking about supermarkets and everything else. They do everything. Supermarkets. They have shipping companies and warehouses. That I mean, you name it, they do it. Like they're building malls and everything else. So I don't see why African Americans can't do the same thing. African Americans are again. I'm gonna get the statistics, but I heard African Americans are among the 8th richest people in the world. Can you imagine that? So if African Americans are among the 8th richest people in the world, that money should that there should be no poor black person living in this country, So we have to use just how the Caucasians or white supremacy system uses Africa for its resources. Black America need to use it for its resources, but also help to rebuild some of these African countries. So you're not just gonna use the place and not do anything. The next thing is the self-hate. So I've talked about black people as a whole just stopping the self-hate. We all have to come together, learn each other cultures. People from the Caribbean, people from Europe. There are black people in Europe, Australia, Aborigines in Australia. I mean, it's black people worldwide. Even in India, they have societies that still eat African food and just live the same African way as people in African villages in India. So imagine black people are spread throughout the world. Of course, that's not the image that's being shown on Indian TV, but the indigenous people of those lands, most of them are always black. Even in the Philippines, same thing. So black people, we need to start connecting with each other, because it's going to be a beautiful thing to see black people from all walks of life all around the world coming together and actually joining hands and working together. That's what it's all about. Because we're the lost people. We're the lost tribe of Israel. So we're scattered all through the world. So instead of fighting each other, killing each other, and doing all this nonsense, we need to come together and start actually using our power, which is the people, and come and work together. The last part of what I want to talk about today is the weave business, and I'm going to go real quick.